Usually I've been trying to start with a conversation before, but we're starting very fast today. So
what do you mean? This is a conversation, dude.
It usually starts with something. We have like almost like a cold opening nowadays, and then
now you're ruining it.
Now we're gonna look out for it. We're gonna be like, oh, here we go. Here's the goddamn
I've ruined it
conversation
entirely. I'm
like,
sorry.
why did you have to do that? Like, we were gonna
never have a cold opening ever again.
I know. Like, why did you mention it? You ruined it.
I ruined everything. I ruined everything I touch.
Well,
now it's
that's a new
awkward.
voice we're hearing.
No, it's a perfect opening.
Oh, who's that deep voice? That deep new voice. Who is that?
Oh, hey, John.
It's none of you guys.
Oh no!
Just kidding.
Welcome, John Velez, to the podcast.
Ricardo didn't find my joke funny. Ricardo's like, "What? My voice is deep. What are you talking about?"
I mean, it's deep enough.
It's deep. It's rattling my bones right now.
For those who don't know, John Velez is basically the one who did all of the work to make sure we have YouTube episodes of our podcast now. So
yes,
thank you, John. That's a fantastic
you
job.
did amazing.
Well,
as they say, thank you for your service, dude.
Thank you.
Absolutely, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I actually wanted to start off and ask, like, what was the process like? Because it's been a year, essentially, since I asked you if you could work on it.
I can't believe that.
Yeah, it's been exactly almost because you asked me like around November of last year.
Yeah,
around this time. Yeah,
wow.
Yeah, because I always felt really bad because I committed to it. I was like, yeah, I'll do it, and then I was going to school, then I got a new job.
I know that's why no one's bemoaning it. How long it took, because you were essentially working like 3 jobs while also doing the side gig. So, I mean.
So it was at first it was really hard to find time to work on it, but once I got like a good idea and we started going along with it and I learned a whole lot of new things working on it. So that's pretty cool. And
that's an understatement.
A lot of troubleshooting. Yeah, it was really cool.
So
nothing makes you learn faster than having a goal.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because when Marvin first approached me, he wanted me to just do the art for it, right? So basically just the character art and the assets that are going to be used by somebody who would do the rig for it and all the After Effects stuff. Mm-hmm. So I did that. But since, Marvin was always pretty adamant that there was no big rush, so I was it's like, we have some time before we're going to be doing this anyway, so no rush, which is great because like I said, I had 3 jobs and I had a lot of stuff going on, so but then I was like, oh man, I don't know, I kind of want to tinker around and figure out how to do an After Effect rig because I have some cool ideas, and I did the most crazy intricate rig. I don't think any of you saw this. I don't know if I put it up on the Discord, but the first run around, it was so I put so much work into it. The rig was driven by an absurd amount of controllers and stuff and it was cool. It looked great, but to render 20 minutes took over 24 hours, if After Effects did not crash. So I was like, I'm gonna have to go back and simplify this significantly. And then I spent a couple months just kind of optimizing and then at the very end there, I completely redid the rig to a much simpler system that just render much faster. So that was kind of a crazy moment there at the end.
Yeah, that was unexpectedly the most difficult part, was just making sure After Effects can even run it. Because this is what I remember it being like. There's lots of other podcasts that do little procedurally generated animations that are based in sound. So I found a tutorial once. I was like, because John was just asking about it, and then John was like, "Well, what does it look like?" And I was like, "Oh, it looks like this." And this is a tutorial I found, And then, but that's probably what I'm going to pass on to the After Effects artists once you make all the assets. And I think literally 2 days later, you were like, I got it working. I was like, what? I was like, you didn't have to go into After Effects and actually rig everything, but okay.
Well, I thought it was so cool that I was like, I'm going to try it, you know?
I want to know how many months did it take you to do the tajin?
The tajin was the most intricate prop. All right, like it's a lot of research.
Every grain has its own controller slide.
I actually took out a passport and went down to Mexico. You know,
you saw how they made it. You're like, all right. You were touring the chili fields. You're like,
yeah.
The expiration date updates dynamically.
Oh, wow.
Oh, depending on the season, it changes flavors.
Yeah. Some of the background characters, I still don't know the inside jokes too. So I'm just like, all right, I guess I'm just gonna put this guy in here.
Well, that's hilarious. Okay. So there were some inside jokes that you put in that we didn't like ask for, but you put them in, and like some of them I understood, like Sweet Tiberius. I was like, okay, that's Sweet James, who is like a local like attorney who has billboards everywhere called Sweet James. So you're like, true, okay. But then some I was like, what is Anderson soup? And I didn't know. I was like, I'll just go with it. I'm not sure what this means, but I'm sure John knows.
Yeah, it's just like, I feel like every time you go on a road trip, you see a sign for like Sweet P. Anderson soup. It's and Eat at Joe's.
Yeah.
You know,
like, Eat at Joe's. Yeah.
I was like, it's a classic.
So I put those both
That's
in there.
amazing.
Okay.
I love that.
Gotcha. All right. Well, yeah. Well, if you guys want to check out all that hard work that John worked on, and it's a lot of hard work.
Over a year, a lot of hard work.
Yeah.
Crazy hard work.
There's a lot that John and I discuss that we're not really discussing here, and I'm sure there's a lot even more on John's end.
A lot of butt stuff.
It's a lot of butt stuff for sure.
There's a lot of butts animated that we
Well, it was a lot of work. It was like look what I did with this butt, and then Martin's like, no,
it's all below the waist. We never see the butt. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Can you optimize and simplify the butt?
Yeah.
If we remove the table layer, there's a lot of butt stuff going on underneath that layer, but it's all hidden. But yeah, you gotta check out our YouTube channel, just Newbie Star Trek. And also, John's got a bunch of socials as well. He's on ArtStation and Instagram as ArtDevice28 on Instagram, and just ArtDevice, one word, on ArtStation. So
make sure you smash those like buttons so they can never be touched ever again.
Yeah. Make sure you break those smash buttons when you smash them.
Just so you know, my artwork is nothing like what I did for
no. John is like
Newbie Star Trek.
John's like day job is like an Unreal Engine 5 expert.
I'm more of a 3D artist than I am like a 2D.
To the point where when you started working on it, you actually started it by modeling everything in 3D first, right?
Yeah, I did a mock-up of the 10 forward in 3D, so I can play with lighting.
Wow, that's amazing.
That's super cool.
Yeah, I'm like kind of like.
How do we know such cool people? Cool, talented people. My God, amazing.
Yeah. Some of the coolest. Well, this week we watched Clues, and John is here for Clues because Jasmine told us that John should come on for Clues.
For context, John, how familiar are you with Star Trek?
I'm actually not very familiar. I'm a pretty noob. I'm a noob, right?
Yeah, so that's what makes it exciting. You're our first newbie guest.
Okay. So I'm definitely a newbie guest. I've seen, I live with Jasmine, right? She's my fiance, so she watches it, and I'll catch some episodes with her. And then growing up, my mom used to watch Star Trek as well. She watched the one with Captain Janeway. So
the Voyager.
Voyager. Yeah.
Yes.
With 7 of 9.
Yes.
That's the only character I remember because she was wearing like a very 7 of 9. That's
why most people remember her.
Very memorable character. Let me just say that. And so that's all.
Would you watch it together with your mom? Like, was it like a family thing? Was it, or would she just like watch it alone? Or
she'll watch it alone. Sometimes I'll sit down. Like if I didn't have anything going on, I'll sit down with her and watch it.
Nice.
I would say that I watched it quite a bit, but this was like in like middle school, so I don't remember much of it.
That would have been a while. It's probably while Voyager was coming out. So, yeah. Yeah.
What about your sister?
Voyager
Did she join in? She watched too? Did Fran
I don't
watch?
think so, actually. I'm trying to remember if Fran joined us, but I don't think she did.
Was like,
if anything,
nah.
if anything, it would have just been my mom and I.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, the cat just assaulting Ricardo.
Yeah, you got a cat tail in your face.
Yeah.
Well, Clues first aired on February 11th of 1991. Dan, let's do it. Let's go around the sun.
All right, that means we're traveling back in time.
Whoa.
All right, so it's been only a week since the last air date. So top of the box office, after Home Alone was finally dethroned, it was a new contender called Sleeping with the Enemy, a thriller starring Julia Roberts as a woman who fakes her own death to escape an abusive relationship. At the time, it actually broke a record for the highest grossing domestic opening for a film with a female lead with over $13 million, beating the previous record holder, Ripley from Alien, with $10 million.
Oh, I guess Alien does count. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's true.
The Alien was female.
Other notable releases that weekend included Neverending Story 2, The Next Chapter, a sequel that no one cares about, and particularly for
they should have called it The New Batch. The Neverending Story 2, The New Batch.
Yeah.
I did not know there was a sequel to the Neverending Story.
It's a fine. That's fine.
Yeah, that's crazy.
There were like
No one
legal
needs to
disputes
see it.
over the book and all that other stuff. But yeah, it's too much to get into. But for Marvin, another movie that released that weekend was Rosencrantz and Guildenstern Are Dead, which was written and directed by Tom Stopper, the original author of the play the movie's based on, about the titular characters from the Shakespeare play Hamlet having their own existential misadventures. Gary Oldman was Rosencrantz and Tim Roth was Guildenstern.
It's true. And it's like a slavishly very exact adaptation of the stage play, which makes it both good and bad.
I mean, that's kind of what you'd expect if it's the same guy who wrote it in the first place. But yeah, it's of special significance to Marvin because he kind of adapted it himself.
That's a really long story. I don't know if we should get into that.
Yeah, if you want to know more, watch our... Of all things, watch our Grand Theft Auto Vice City playthrough.
Yes, that actually explains it really
on Fugitive
directly.
Games.
Yeah. There's a very direct explanation for why that is a thing at all.
All right.
Homework. I'll leave it at that. Moving on February 5th, Howard Stern kissed New York Giant Leonard Marshall's ass upon losing a bet against the Giants at the Super Bowl.
Oh,
okay.
Like
man of his word.
Yeah, I'm just putting that out there because Howard Stern was still in the headlines at the time.
Where are we talking? Like on the cheek?
Right in the butthole.
I can only assume so. Like, there's a lot of real estate on the cheeks, so it's an easy target, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, if you had to kiss someone, it's not that bad. There's a lot of round stuff you can just kiss.
No,
that isn't the butthole.
I mean, it could be worse. It could be worse.
Like, if you start aiming for like the hawk.
If I ever get in a bet now where somebody has to kiss a butt, I'm gonna have to be very specific as to what
That's probably the first thing you should clarify with your lawyer.
I mean, it's a very different type of bet, I think.
Yeah.
It's like drastically different.
If you're very squeamish, you can kiss the taint, but that's as lenient as we'll let you go.
Wait, why would that be better?
It's better than the butthole, I think.
Sure, but it's hard to kiss a hole.
It's hard to kiss a taint. You have to really get in there.
I just
don't see why we needed to bring the taint into the conversation.
Yeah, I feel like to get to the taint is just so much more trouble that you're gonna be touching. You're gonna be a wrecking ball going in there.
Very close to the front. You know.
I guess regardless, there's a lot of cooperation on
the taint is part of the anus, not part of the butt.
Okay.
So,
all right.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Well, I have one last thing.
Is this turned into a would you rather at this point? Would you rather game?
No. Cheeks only. Cheeks all the way.
Yeah.
Let's get cheeky.
Cheek sweet. God. All right, February 6th, the last thing I have, and it's a nice one, Street Fighter 2 released in arcades in Japan, and then in the US 9 days later. People these days may not be aware of just how insanely popular Street Fighter 2 was, because like it made up like 60% of the arcade market that year.
It actually released in the US that fast? That's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, they didn't have to do a whole lot of localizing to it. It's not like they changed any sound clips or anything. It was just
surprised. I'm just surprised how fast
yeah,
that
it's
was.
true. It's true. Like it's pretty dang quick, but boy, did it catch fire.
Oh yeah.
Is there a Street Fighter version where Van Damme is the voice of Guile in the game?
No, that's the Street.
No,
that's Street Fighter the movie.
No, I understand. But after the movie, were they like, oh, well, let's just ask Van Damme to do the voice?
And
do it in French because he does the best American French.
I think a lot of people were like assuming that Street Fighter was like partially inspired by like Bloodsport or something.
It was.
Yeah.
So, and they actually believed in the Street Fighter movie so much that when they originally commissioned the company to make Street Fighter the movie, the game, the original title for it was actually Street Fighter 3. They actually were expecting it to be the true successor to Street Fighter. Wow. And then they saw it and they were like, let's run this back. And the crazy part is the original version of Street Fighter, the movie, the game, is notoriously busted. Like there's tons of infinites everywhere, lots of characters doing all sorts of wacky stuff. And I guess
just like the movie.
Yeah, just like the movie, exactly. But I guess like the team in Japan were so offended by how poorly they made the game, they actually took the code and rebalanced the game themselves and re-released a version of the game that's like competitive. It's kind of nuts. Like actually plays like
wasn't that the Saturn version?
I think so. Yeah.
And that version is called Street Fighter the movie, the game, the new batch.
Yeah, the new batch. Exactly.
Has any of you actually played it?
The movie, the game?
The movie, the game, yeah.
Yes. I played the broken version. Yeah.
I think I played the broken version on an emulator as well. But
I actually figured out Sagat's Infinite like just by trying it because it's so easy to do.
It's awesome.
Yeah. Just Tiger Knee Uppercut, Tiger Knee Uppercut, Tiger Knee Uppercut. And that's kind of it.
Broken games.
Well, that's our trip around the sun, everybody.
All right.
Right on.
All right. Well. I guess it's time we roll into our sponsors. This week, let's start with Extra. Black Friday is coming up, which means that it's an excellent time to go and buy a loved one in your family or for yourself a really slim, very stylish, sleek, minimalist design wallet from Extra.com. Their biggest selling point is that they have this quick card access button that lets you flick out up to 5 credit cards with the click of a button. It's really cool. It's also made from really high quality materials like Italian leather, space-grade aluminum, carbon fiber. It has RFID blocking plates to prevent people from stealing your RFID information from your credit cards. And you can even install a tracker on it so that if you ever lose your wallet, you can find it anywhere in the world as long as it's near some Wi-Fi signal. And right now, because they're having their Black Friday sale at the time of this recording, everything on the website is at least 30% off, 40% if you're doing a purchase over $200, and our offer code Newbie, N-E-W-B-I-E, still stacks even on top of that. So that's up to an additional 25% off site-wide. That is a massive amount of discount that is available on one website for one product. So again, head on over to ekster.com. That's ekster.com. Use our offer code Newbie, N-E-W-B-I-E, and that gets you up to 25% off site-wide. And that's on top of any other deals they have going on right now, including their current Black Friday deals. And also, we have our other sponsor of the week, ExpressVPN, our good old mainstay. Listen, you should never go on the internet without some protection, and a good way to protect yourself is to use a quality VPN like ExpressVPN, which is one of the best VPNs in the world because it has over 3,000 plus servers and 160 locations spanning 94 countries. It works on pretty much every device you can think of, actually works on Netflix and other streaming services. It's actually super fast. It lives up to its name of ExpressVPN, and it actually is very secure. In fact, other governments have tried to infiltrate ExpressVPN and see if they could track users, and they couldn't because they actually keep no activity or connection logs. They are true to their word, and they are doing regular third-party audits of their security all the time to make sure that they keep up to that standard. So if you want to get ExpressVPN, head on over to expressvpn.com/newbie Star Trek, and if you sign up for 12 months, they'll give you an extra 3 months for free, which makes the entire deal 49% off. That is a really, really good deal. And if for any reason you don't want to use ExpressVPN, you just wanted to try it out for a bit, it has a 30-day money-back guarantee, so there's no risk to you whatsoever. So again, that's expressvpn.com/newbie Star Trek. And if you sign up for 12 months, you're going to get an extra 3 months for free. All right. Well, in that case, Denise Crosby. What? What did I say?
You said Crosby, Stills, and Nash. Which is weird.
Tasha has a question.
Ricardo, could you please tell us what happened in this episode?
How do I sound? Is my voice okay?
Your voice is beautiful.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah,
dude. Just checking because I mean, Sarah's saying that we all have
just not very
low-pitched voices over here.
Oh no!
I'm kidding. I got a different mic. And,
you guys have the deepest voice.
By the way, guys,
ever.
I wanted to put it out there. I haven't posted about it, but by the time this is out and post about it, I'm very excited. Magic Mike 3 is coming out in theaters, and I'm very excited. We
Field
should
trip.
yeah, guys.
Soderbergh directed, right?
Yeah.
So
I've never seen a Magic Mike movie.
Oh my god!
The first one is actually legitimately pretty good as a movie.
Yeah.
The second is just trash.
Oh yeah. The first one is not about stripping. It is about you do see
stripping is like the journey used to tell a character story.
Wait, is there full frontal?
You see a blurred dick. You see a lot of S's.
Oh yeah.
But really, it's a story about the
family.
American businessman
Okay.
trying to make it in America.
Have you seen it, John? Have you seen
I
Magic
have,
Mike?
yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
Beautiful movie, right?
We're from
Yeah,
Tampa.
I know.
We gotta rap our boy.
I forgot. Is he from Tampa? Is he?
Yeah.
I believe so.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, that's right.
Oh, okay. I didn't know the actor's from Tampa. Gambit. What's his name? What's his real name? I forget.
Channing Tatum.
Channing Tatum. I call him Gambit, even though he's never actually played Gambit. Was only rumored to play Gambit.
I was like, what? I was like, all I remember Channing Tatum now is the Gimp in This Is the End.
Oh yeah.
Like, that's all I remember. That's now.
All I remember him as the weird wolf man from Jupiter Ascending. That's all.
The Catman.
Yeah, it is a Catman technically, I guess. Right?
Yeah. They got whiskers.
Not a wolf. Yeah.
You know who'd be a good Catman is Riker. So this episode is a very funky episode. So you're saying that Jasmine picked this episode for you to watch?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I find that interesting.
Yeah, that is very curious.
Yeah. I wish we had her for like 10 minutes to figure out why she picked this specifically for you. But okay, so first of all, let's just get it out of the way. Was it a thumbs up for you, or was it like, whoa, this is weird?
I mean, I liked it. It left me a little bit wanting, right? Because I wanted to see what was going on with Johnny. You know, was he a jamoke or not? You know, like
Yeah.
So what is that? I heard that word. What is a jamoke?
Yeah, I know.
You tell me.
You know what?
I was trying to figure out.
Wait,
I thought that was a clue.
Am I allowed to say that word? It sounds like a slur a little bit.
I think you can't
is
say
that?
it. No, I think
No.
It
Oh my
refers
god.
to
Oh
a
my
stupid
god.
person.
Wait, is this?
Okay.
Are we supposed to say this out loud? Is
We
this
can.
Is this a
I
bad
think-
word?
It's just old timey slang for an idiot.
Is it close to like mook? Like a
dude,
mook?
you can't say that, dude.
Yeah,
Not you gotta say it Mook American, dude.
Whoa.
What?
Whoa, Marvin.
You know, a jamoke is a guy which takes wooden nickels from people.
Yeah.
I don't know. It
what
sounds like a
is.
slur to me. It sounds like something we shouldn't say.
Well,
Like, if someone-
here's the thing, Sarah. Everything is a slur. If you call somebody a cat person, boom, someone's gonna get offended, dude. They're like, what about dog people? What about dog people?
I don't know. It just has that weird like sound to it.
Yeah.
That's
It doesn't hit the ear right. Yeah, it's
Nah.
like I've said this before, but it's like Jinjo from Banjo-Kazooie. That doesn't sound like you should say it out loud. It sounds bad.
Nah.
Apparently, it's a portmanteau of Java and Mocha.
What? So basically, why would that calling him like a coffee person?
That fucker loves coffee. What an idiot!
That coffee-loving Johnny over there.
That coffee-loving Jamoke.
I don't get it either. I don't get how coffee kind of like transmutes into a fool. But
maybe back in the day, people who drank coffee were considered stupid because they were like, coffee.
Maybe
you should drink tea.
One offered explanation.
They're like, you should smoke cigarettes. If you don't smoke cigarettes, then fuck you.
Idiot, not smoking cigarettes. He's drinking coffee instead. Yeah. What an idiot.
There's another slang term called jabroni that just refers to like a dude.
I heard jabroni.
Well, like, I don't know if jabroni comes from jaboni or.
So jabroni has a different etymology. So
jabroni, right?
So
jabroni is
people who like My Little Pony.
The Rock's famous term, jabroni. It's not even really his term. It's a slang term in the locker room for professional wrestling.
Yeah, it's a wrestling thing, right?
Yeah, it's a mutation of jobber, and jobbers are wrestlers who are supposed to lose matches to make a certain other wrestler look better. It's their job to go in and lose, or to do a part of a thing that isn't going to put them like in a highlight, but it's a job, so they just job. They're jobbers.
Yeah, being a supporting guy.
And then The Rock, once he was let loose from his Rocky Maivia personality and was allowed to kind of just be himself, decided to use a lot of wrestling backstage slang in his promos, including jabroni, and calling people jabronis.
Well,
that's great.
I like that one, a jabroni.
Yeah.
Apparently, Conan O'Brien said a term that a writer later stole, then went to the WWE and gave it to The Rock to use.
Yeah.
What term was that?
Do you know which one that was?
What was the term?
Have a nice steaming cup of shut the fuck up, or shut the hell up. Apparently, Conan used to say that as a joke in writers' rooms when someone said an idea that no one liked.
Well, then, okay. Is that before or after Happy Gilmore?
Before.
I don't know. It must have been before.
During the Scorpion King, during the CGI of the Scorpion King, which they spent hundreds of hours on,
and it looks fantastic. There's definitely nothing wrong.
It's the Suzuki of special effects.
every single frame today.
It's just as good as the day it came out.
So I thought this was going to be a full-on Dixon Hicks episode. They tricked us. I thought, all right.
It's a bit of a curveball.
Yeah, but then like I didn't remember. Did he have this weird accent in the other?
No.
He never even, I don't think he even tried that before.
No, yeah.
Sarah was going like, "What the hell is this?"
Yeah, it was bad. It was bad.
Wait, who had an accent?
So you haven't seen Picard do the Dixon Hill program before, holodeck program?
Oh, okay.
But before he just talked like a normal Picard.
He talked like an Englishman who was a detective. You know. But
so he did have an accent,
he had a weird accent, and at first I was like, "Oh, this is horrible. I hope he doesn't do this the whole time." And then when he kept going, I was like, "I need a whole episode of this because this is so shitty. I need more of this." But the episode starts off, and speaking of cat people, Riker's doing like the episode's like, "Hey, we got some off time while we're Ubering over to this other planet, right? They're always going somewhere. They're never." If they're gonna have leisure time, why don't they go to the sex world, the sexy planet?
They can't just always go to the sex planet, Ricardo.
I get it, but like it's there. They just could swing by.
Also, anyway, the sex planet god is demanding they stay away. So
also, but look, the sex planet, they don't have Wesley anymore, so they don't have to worry about him starting a war.
That's true.
Step on
but his
flowers.
Mom is still there, so
that's true. She could start a war, or just be a deadbeat mom. But Riker's practicing his kata. He's doing his fucking shit over there.
Worf is leading like a Klingon like martial arts class.
Karate class.
I think they're practicing for the blood sport or like the kumite. And then Beverly has that thing. What's that thing that was like popular like 8 years ago? It was
when like little kids grow crystals and like a thing.
No, it was little pods that you put under, and then it would grow like a little cilantro, and then it always tastes like shit.
Just a little cilantro.
That I'm not sure. I don't know if anything kids grew that they could eat. So
it wasn't kids. It was for adults. Like
you can grow cilantro.
Like a little garden, and had a little light, and then you put pods in there with any plants you wanted.
I don't know if it ever achieved fad status, but I do remember like seeing such things for sale.
It was a fad, dude.
Yeah.
If I had it, it was a fad. And I had it.
I remembered seeing like in kids like science stores that like you can grow. It almost looked just like that. It's like a little pod, and you put crystals in it.
Yeah.
In a few hours, they'll grow into crystals. I remember.
And she's growing she's growing weed or something. She's trying to grow some sort of like super strain of weed.
Yeah, weird Furby.
That extra potent pink stuff.
Yeah, and so Galen.
Yes.
Galen.
Yeah, it's officially Galen now.
Galen goes in and they're immediately they're talking about their leisure time, and she's immediately in the Dixon Hicks episode. And this is weird how they introduced this, because like there's a receptionist that won't let her in, and then she just barges in, and she's like,
I mean, first of all,
she didn't know she was in or out, right?
In high heels, like very high heels, and a dress. And also,
it's a rare attempt at like sexualizing Whoopi Goldberg.
Yeah, she even shows us her little stockings and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's so weird. Oh my god,
she almost just straight up shows off her underwear.
Yeah. I wonder if that was like a body double. Or like, what if that was like a body double? Or
could have been Whoopi.
No, those are Whoopi legs. I know Whoopi legs.
But you know what's so interesting is like when she walks in, she kind of, and she's in her high heels. She kind of, you can tell she's not used to walking in high heels because she kind of stumbles.
That's great though. That's great for the performance because
she like trips a little bit and like wobbles on her heels. And I'm like, oh, that's
Galen
so weird.
would do that. Galen wouldn't be wearing heels.
Yeah, she doesn't wear heels normally.
Yeah,
so.
like about 42 seconds in to the episode, she about 46 episodes in, she kind of wobbles in. But like also part of me was like, you mentioned sex episode, like we didn't get to see the rest of, like, I don't know, what if like she was like Picard's like partner in this?
Oh, it's supposed to be like a romantic.
Yeah, like I don't know. It seemed very romantic.
Possible.
She's got the fur, the cigarette on the stick.
Yeah, remember when Beverly was in the simulation? She was a hooker. Remember?
She went in.
She was one. Someone.
She was waiting. She was waiting with the lady of the night, but I don't think she was also a lady.
If you associate with one, you're one. Yeah? That's what they say, dude.
Back in the day, you would just be like, "Oh, you're standing next to a prostitute. You are also."
Yeah, that's why Jesus was a hoe.
They have an area of effect that transforms.
An AOE. A hooker aura.
Yeah.
Why was the programming for that receptionist so sassy?
Is it the same one from the previous episode?
That's playing the trope, I guess.
I think so. Okay. I think it's the same one.
Yeah, it's the same one.
She's really sassy. Yeah.
She's super sassy.
So I'm going to barrel through this because it has nothing to do with the episode and it's very stupid. But I guess
it's only connected thematically. Yeah, that's it. So that was literally just to be like, I like clues.
Yeah, basically, so Picard can go. Basically, so they can go. Hey, remember Picard likes to solve like
mysteries,
like cases. So
he spends his free time warping. Yeah.
What baffles me is that Guinan's not in the episode otherwise. Like she's just there for that one bit. Like usually they need her for something, you know?
Yeah, and she could have been actually.
They were going to team up and then figure out the clues together. I was like,
that would have been cool.
Why she's here? She didn't have to be in this episode at all.
It's probably like a scheduling thing again, where like they want Whoopi to be in the show, but
they wanted her to keep her SAG insurance, and they're like, we got to put her in the scene, or else
she was. This was during a very busy part of her career, so I'm assuming that her schedule was
during that when she did that movie with the dinosaur. Teddy Rex, or what is it called?
Not Tammy and the T-Rex.
Theodore Rex or something.
Theodore Rex.
That's what it was.
Theodore Rex. Yeah. Oh my god, that movie is very difficult to watch.
I've never tried, but maybe one day I should try.
Of it, so.
It's very awkward because she's racist against dinosaurs. And the plot of the movie is she learns to not be racist against dinosaurs.
So wait, like, are these like cartoon dinosaurs, real life dinosaurs?
You know,
are they like
remember
humanoid
the show Dinosaurs? Where they're
it was like the show Dinosaurs.
Yeah.
There's like a person in a Jim Henson suit.
A really bad Jim Henson suit. Yeah. Oof. And then
that's crazy.
Picard gets called out of the episode. They basically call the phone in the thing. They establish that he loves clues. Picard loves clues, and he sees a thread and he's going to pull on it.
Yeah.
And so he gets called out by Riker, and he's like, "Hey, there's some weird shit going on. Let's get the fuck out of here." check this out, dude. So they go and they're like, hey, we're that planet we're going to check out. Something weird's happening. We're going to go through this wormhole or dark hole, whatever. By the way, at New Ensign, I'm liking the New Ensign. We got a female who didn't skip, didn't know anybody. She doesn't go, hey, Riker, thanks for getting me in here, dude. You know?
Yeah. What's weird is that she's like the second person at the helm in the episode. Like the very first person you see sitting next to Data is some like salt and peppery like guy.
Because you know why? Because everyone gets a turn. The right way, where like hey, you rotate in, you rotate out. It's the proper way to do it instead of goddamn having this kid who constantly is endangering people. You know, at the helm all the time. God damn it!
No, but I'm with you, Ricardo. I like defensive.
Ensign McKnight is her name.
Yeah, Knight Rider. And so some blue light happens off screen, and I was like, oh, Michael Mann directed this episode. And they go through the wormhole, and then it seems instantly like that Data turns around and everybody's like asleep, or I thought they were dead. Honestly, I thought like they were dead.
Just died.
Yeah, and I thought, oh, we're gonna go into like an alternate universe, and where they're not dead. Here's my theory, and when my imagination ran amok, dude. This is what I thought. Tell me if you thought this, John. Was that maybe it's because I was high, but that's not here or there. But I thought,
all right.
Oh, this is one of those crazy episodes that they kind of hinted at. They're dead, and he's got to go. The wormhole's going to give him like a different version of them, and he's going to have to pick them up and replace them. They're doppelgangers, and we from this point on, we're like, this is a whole new crew.
Yeah, it'll be the second universe crew this whole time.
That wasn't the.
How long did it take for you to like let go of that interpretation?
As soon as they woke up, I was like, oh no, they probably.
Okay, because I was about to say like later on when Deanna like looks at the mirror and like kind of like that's not fucking me in there, man.
That makes it really weird. That makes it really weird.
Brought me back to my theory, but at the same time, I was like, I don't know, dude. Maybe this is a Freddy Krueger episode where there's like a dream fucking ghoul. But so they wake up and they're like, you know, thank God, what happened? And they're like, well, you passed out for 30 seconds and then you're back. That's crazy. And they're like, oh, well. And no one goes like, well, that's weird. Never has this happened before where everybody passes out. They're like, well, I guess that's fine anyway. And then like little small things happen that lead them to the clues. But if the clues hadn't been there, they would have just been okay with it. Like, oh, it's fine. We passed out.
I mean, that's how it ends. That's
Data essentially had a Polaroid that said, "Don't believe his lies" on it.
Yeah. But also, this could have ended the whole episode if this had happened.
Yeah.
They get away from those aliens, and then they look back and they're far enough, and then Data goes, "Holy shit, dude! You guys almost died twice, you idiots!" And then the captain goes, "What happened? What do you mean?" He's like, "Keep your mouth shut. I'm going to tell you in 10 minutes." And then they get really far away.
enough that they can't get us, and now we can
warp 9 it, and then like 10 minutes into warp 9, go, "Hey, you guys are fucking idiots, dude. I had to save you twice. What happened? Some aliens tried to kill us, dude." What do you mean? Yeah, they had to erase your mind twice. They had to use the noisy cricket on your eyes, and then you
noisy cricket on your eyes,
the neural eyes or whatever it's called.
Just fucking shoot him in the face.
But like they're so accepting. I don't understand for like it's called clues, but like also here's my biggest gripe with this episode. Even though I liked it, this is my biggest gripe with the episode is that the aliens like, whoa, fuck, you've seen us. We're gonna kill you, fuckers. And then Picard's like, no, don't kill us. Just erase our minds. And he never the captain who's fucking known for debating people and being in charge of setting treaties and talking things out goes, oh, don't kill us. Erase our minds. Talk it out,
he just like puts it on that this alien's will. Like, what if he erases way more than just like
that's true.
Encounter,
we can't quite trust them. Yeah.
No, what I also find funny is how trusting the aliens were. It's like, and this guy that saw everything and can't like was awake the whole time. Like, I'm just gonna order him not to reveal it to anyone.
I ordered him.
Yeah. See, he said yes. He said yes, guys.
He's all Data. Do you promise? Forever and ever? No take backsies? And he's all, no take backsies. And he's like, see?
I need your pinky, Data.
Yeah. He's like, you jabroni. Give me your pinky. And so that's my biggest gripe with this episode. But besides that, it's kind of fun. And I enjoy how wacky it is. But that was one of my biggest things is like, wait a minute. Picard just totally gave into this dude not once but twice.
But I like it. Yeah, it's kind of hilarious at the end. It's like, well, this time we're gonna be thorough and not leave any traces of ourselves.
Yeah, like why does the alien give them a second? I would be like, well, it didn't work the first time, so
also, how are they gonna do that? Like, how are they gonna make Worf's like arm not broken? How are they gonna make?
And now when they talk to Starfleet, now it's like, hey, Enterprise, you haven't reported in for 2 days. What's up?
Yeah, that's also the outside world is continuing, right?
Yeah,
they go back to Starbase, and then the Starbase will be like, your time clock's 2 days off. What's up with that?
Yeah, like as soon as they sync with the atomic clock in Colorado, they're gonna be.
That's true. Oh man, these are pretty massive plot holes, actually.
Yeah.
These are minor. These are actually pretty big.
And when they come back, and someone's got to be like cataloging all these like captain's logs, right? Like, and they're like, "Hey, you're missing 2 days of captain's logs." They're like, "No, what do you mean? Well, I've done them every day. I did all my timesheets, just like me with timesheets. I did all my timesheets." And then they're like, "No, you're missing 2. Clearly, they're back-to-back days." And it's like, when? And then they're like, you don't think they're going to question Data then?
Yeah.
And be like, listen, you piece of shit, you fucking Terminator, you fucked us over, didn't you? And then he's going to be like, yeah, you guys almost got killed twice. Like, it's so, this is a funky episode and I like it, but like, there's some weird plot holes happening here. Some big leaps. First of all, here are the crazy things that happen. One is Deanna is like getting weirdly emotional on the bridge, and they're like, "Oh, she's sick or something. Take her to her room." And then what was that about? I didn't get that part.
I didn't get it either because she wasn't
in retrospect, it doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, like she just has the worst case of imposter syndrome ever. Like she's just like,
who's that ghoul? And they're like, no, it's your reflection. What are you saying?
The only thing I can think of is that when the Paxson went inside her,
you can't say that. Whoa. With consent at the
into
time.
her mind, it left like an imprint that she can view, I guess, somehow, but it's not.
Yeah, I guess that's probably the best explanation there is. Like aside from like temporal displacement, like really F's with Betazoid like perception.
Also possible.
Yeah. But there's no temporal. They didn't travel through time at all.
But they got rid of her short-term memory, which doesn't line up with the rest of what she thinks is going on. So it's possible that she. I guess so,
but she wasn't. They just erased her memory, but they didn't. There was no displacement of time or space. What the fuck?
No,
dude?
And then what's going to stop her from not doing this again?
I know.
Time.
Yeah, the only thing I can think of to prevent that is they said, and let's tell Starfleet that there's a hazard here.
Yeah.
Kind of the same for the almighty Tim guy planet. The guy who created his wife from Illusions.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
They put a
Tim,
probe around
the Rickroll guy. The Rickroll guy.
Rick Astley. They told Rick Astley lives here. Don't come here.
Did they also do that for the Winrar planet?
Yes, they did. Yeah, they just do this all the time. They just put probes saying, "Don't come here.
Don't fuck with any of this shit."
They're basically like, "Don't know if you get an email like this, do not open it."
Same for Skin of Evil. They were like, they put a probe being like, "Do not enter this planet."
Yeah.
I have a random thing. What's up with Beverly's hair in this episode?
Yeah, it's very different. Yeah,
she doesn't have the bangs.
It's more early 90s.
Well, she doesn't have her bangs anymore. Like she usually has her.
Well, no kid, new life. Yeah,
I guess
she's growing weed in her lab.
Yeah, she's growing weed. Exactly. she's doing all the things she wanted to do when she's like, I'm single again. I'm going to grow my weed. I'm going to not have bangs anymore. I'm going to go out there and Shania Twain the shit out of this, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a while she wore a wig. I wonder if this is when she stopped wearing the wig, and that's why they can not have the bangs and just show the actual hairline.
Was there a reason why she needed the wig?
Because before her hair was blonde.
No. She showed she said her actual hair is very close to this hair color.
So why did she wear a wig?
Hair? She said she doesn't know why they made her wear a wig. Like if you go on her Twitter, she shows you, like, she explains this because people ask her and she's just like, yeah, I don't know. Like,
so apparently when she returned, her hair was shorter and they wanted her hair to be as long as before. So they put a wig on her. And then apparently
just let her hair be short.
I don't know. Why not? Right?
It's not like she's Superman with a mustache.
Yeah. Riker got a fucking beard, right? So why not? their outfits changed between seasons.
Wait, now I don't remember. Riker didn't have a beard before?
No. That's the thing, right? You can't even imagine him without a beard
at all.
anymore. Yeah.
I don't remember now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
it's such a prolific part of his character that a Riker without a beard doesn't stick in the brain very well. So
like a Frakes without a beard.
Yeah.
Like any image of Jonathan Frakes ever needs to have a beard.
Yeah. Which is funny because before that in his career, he was like, I will never have a beard. I think it looks gross on me.
Wow.
And it was Gene Roddenberry that convinced him he should keep it. So
and now he's like, I must only be this way.
Here's my crazy theory is and I was having it the other day, is that Jonathan Frakes could play roles that Tom Selleck played, and Tom Selleck could play roles that Jonathan Frakes played. Like imagine Tom Selleck as Riker with the sweet mustache, dude.
Oh yeah.
Going to Six Planets, fucking all the ladies.
I could see that.
I could see it.
How does a beard feel on your face? Like, does it feel weird?
This is a weird question. This is a weird one.
I don't know, because I'm looking at the camera and all of you guys got some kind of facial hair, and I'm just like sitting here thinking to myself, like, what does that feel
you
like?
almost gave me an existential crisis. I'm like, how does a beard feel on my face? You know?
Like, what is it? Is it weird? Like, does it feel warm?
See, everybody has a different. Everybody has a different length and a different style, so it all feels different.
Yeah.
Like,
well, let's start with you, Ricardo. You're the most full of them right now.
He's got quite the beard right now. Yeah.
I trimmed like all of it off yesterday because I had to go into the office for work. And I was like, I don't want my boss to see that I look like
Kratos
a hobo with a shotgun. But seriously, I trimmed.
Does it keep you warm? Like,
it did, because when I cut it off, I immediately felt cold. I was like, it's chilly in here. And I felt lighter. I felt like I could run like a mile faster.
The wind resistance.
Like, does it get annoying? Do you feel like you have something on your face?
So,
like, is it weird?
I had it so big. Yeah, that's what she said. That when I would eat, everything would get on my mustache, like just like
no.
Gunk. And then I had to buy a comb so I could after eating, I could just comb my beard and then.
Oh my God.
If you eat something that you're like, I'm gonna get sick of this smell later, like whether it's any kind of barbecue is the worst because you're like, barbecue is delicious, but then you're smelling barbecue all day, and then
Korean barbecue is like the worst of them.
Yeah. So I would have to shower. You have to shower twice just so you get the smell of food off your beard.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Yes.
But if you have a smaller contained, like now it's out of my lips. It's off. I could eat normal now again. But everything, all of them feel different.
When you trimmed it down, did volleyball seem less friendly?
They did. And he's like, Wilson's like, fuck you, you bitch. I don't know you. I don't know, John. Well, you have stubble.
Yeah,
What
you
do
have
you?
like a shadow. Like, what
I got just stubble going on. I just shaved right before this. I took a shower and I just used the razor.
You do this every day? You keep
the electric razor.
Huh.
Well, I just started. I mean, you've all known me with a beard for the longest time. I just started shaving recently. But
I'm so interested on the style choice behind it, like why people do it. You know, like
I don't know. You kind of just
laziness,
beard, no beard. Laziness. You know,
convenience. I think determines a lot of how people take care of their own beards. It's like if it grows all the time, you're probably going to succumb to letting it happen at least a little bit.
Yeah,
but that's so interesting. And then you all got partners. I find it extremely ticklish. So, like
my beard's just sandpaper. It's just
sandpaper. I'm just always like it's like ticklish,
I'm Korean, so my facial hair is like sparse and soft. So it doesn't really. I can't ever really have a full beard or mustache. It'll always be sparse.
But you always want. I mean, you like obviously you like your look. Like this is your look. You like the.
I guess
it's pretty established at this point. I don't know if he likes it, but
it's just so interesting.
Right?
Yeah, essentially.
Yeah, it's so fascinating. But that I just had to stop and think about that for a moment. I mean, we'll never experience this.
I mean, it's actually related because there's an episode of Star Trek where Geordi will also eventually get a beard.
Oh, snap, dude!
And they're all
dude. You gotta warn us, dude.
No, in this episode, is it Geordi?
Yeah,
he was like obsessed with beards. He's like, how come our beards haven't grown? Only he said it like twice.
That's why our beers didn't grow.
That's the foreshadowing for the episode when later grows his beard.
That's true.
The writers were thinking like in 5 dimensions, man.
So explain that. I did stay on topic. Exactly. And wait, like how quick? Actually, on that question, does it really like it grows back that quickly, like in a day?
Yeah, depends on the person.
Yeah,
I can't grow anything in a day.
Did you really shave today?
Well, I used the machine.
The machine,
so like that's why it's like
it
doesn't do a clean shave.
You didn't do like a big razor. You didn't do like a Gillette.
I didn't.
5 blades.
Okay.
So say if you did like a 5-blade baby face, you're telling me by like 5 o'clock or like people say like 5 o'clock.
Yeah, I do.
Really?
I do.
Yeah, absolutely.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it will look just like this.
Shut up.
So if you watch the special
crazy.
features on Rushmore, Jason Schwartzman plays he plays a high school kid, and he was only like 20 something, like 21, 22 when he did the part, but he in like the behind the scenes stuff, he said you see him in some of this behind the scenes shaving because he like a few hours into the shooting day, he'd have stubble, so he'd have to shave again. Because
that's hilarious.
Oh my god!
And he's got thick hair, so I have thick hair too. So
that's kind of nuts, actually.
I'll shave, and it looks like I didn't shave. So that's why I never shave, because it's like might as well didn't. I shouldn't have shaved.
So Jordy is right. He's like freaky. He's like, "Where's my beard?"
Yeah, Picard, you fucking piece of shit. Where's my beard? I should look like Riker.
You think they have some kind of like fancy schmancy like shaving thing that would like
well, they showed the barber in a couple episodes ago.
Yeah,
but
and they have like a hovering. They have like a sonic like razor. I've seen it where it's like they hold it above their face and it shaves them.
Really, like a sonic shower?
Yeah, but it's exactly.
That's cool. I'll say sometimes shaving hurts. That's why I don't do it. Like I'm like it hurts my skin.
You can cut yourself.
Not even that. It's just because I don't like it.
It's irritating. That's why they do all those products where you're like, oh, put a thing on, and lather on, and then do it, and then it won't burn.
I don't like shaving either. I don't think anybody likes it.
It's the same. You know how like women's like they have like leg shaving products. It's the exact same products. Honestly, they just label it differently. You know, it's
women shave their face too. I mean,
exactly.
I have the little, for makeup and stuff, you want to get like the little microscopic baby hairs, fuzz, like peach fuzz, so you'll like shave it off, but like that doesn't grow back for like weeks, like very long time.
Well, it's funny because I've gotten tattoos and then like I'll be like, oh, I'm gonna get the tattoo here, so I'll just preemptively shave that morning.
Oh they shave the.
So I shave in the morning and then I'll go get a tattoo and then he'll still shave it. I was like, what's the deal? I just shaved like the area.
My God.
And he's like, you have little hairs that have grown out already, so you want to do it like right before you tattoo.
Ricardo, you're like great. Like something about your hair growth is extreme because
he said that it just in general
insane.
Like I mean I'm not like Robin Williams over here.
I mean, it's somewhat related to testosterone in the sense that
I don't have any hair, barely any hair. I'm a very like sparse hair person.
How much yelling do you do? I wonder because Robin Williams was a big yeller, and I yell a lot. And I'm wondering if there's a correlation between yelling and the hair growth.
There could be a correlation,
But you think I'd have more hair on my head, but I'm going bald in the back. So I don't know.
Well, that's the theory is that like testosterone does drive hair growth in general, but it can like burn it out. It'll actually transform the follicle.
I've yelled too much in my life.
You've been too angry for too long.
The reviews of this show is like great opening. Then they spent fucking 3 hours on fucking
talking about hair and shape.
Jordy focused on it. Jordy wouldn't.
They should have been an episode where we have fucking Dollar Shave Club.
Fucking sponsor.
Marvin, god damn it, dude, you fucked us, dude. This was the episode, dude.
I feel like a facial hair related tangent is almost like a rite of passage for meandering podcasts.
Is it? You think so?
It's also
like you end up hearing it from everybody at some point. Eventually, they get to it.
There's also like a scene in a later episode where they're all playing poker and Beverly's there, but everyone else on the table has beards. and then everyone starts talking about their beards, and then Beverly goes, I've never trusted a man with facial hair.
Oh shit, dude.
Oh damn.
And we've already seen that one episode where Data like had facial hair on.
Yeah, randomly.
And Jordy was like, "What the hell are you doing, man? You idiot! You're a robot."
Yeah. You know what? We've talked a lot about my remake of John. I don't know if you've heard of this episode, but I want to remake this version, the Next Generation, right?
Okay.
And my main Picard in the remake is Jason Statham, dude.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Imagine that, dude. And it was like, fuck you, mate. And then he fucking roundhouse kick somebody, dude. But we never talked about who would be Data in my adaptation. Like that's,
I guess we never really did, huh?
Yeah. I want to say it would have been Paul Walker if he hadn't died, but he's dead, so he's not playing Data. I don't know. I'm going to leave it up.
In like who's very like low energy?
Machine Gun Kelly, dude, is my Data, dude.
Sure.
Oh my god.
What's his name? Chris, the guy who plays Anakin.
Oh, he's very robot. You're right, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, just get not Haley Joel Osment. That's not his name.
Tim Roth.
Oh, hey, okay. We're talking about older Anakin then.
Yeah.
Who? What Anakin you thought it was?
The younger one. The one
Jake Lloyd?
Not Jake Gyllenhaal. Jake
Lloyd, dude.
Yeah.
Lloyd Christmas. So the episode goes on, and there's all these clues, like Miles O'Brien's like, oh, my elbow hurts, I got tinnitus, dude. And it's like, well, what happened to you? He's like, I was hanging a plant for Keiko. Or what's her name?
Keiko.
Yeah.
Wait, no, Keiko's my brother's dog.
It's Keiko, no?
Yeah,
is it
Keiko?
Yeah.
Keiko. Miles is basically like, I just learned that my wife likes plants, so I'm trying to figure out.
It's like, damn, now that I have a wife in the show, I have to mention her every time I'm on screen.
Which makes me think because right now we're going through the fad where everybody loves plants. Everybody's a plant person. Like, I fucking.
Oh, I'm so guilty of this. I just bought
see
so many plants on Saturday.
No, are you gonna grow shitty cilantro?
Yeah, John.
I'll try.
Tell the truth, John. She's not here. She's not behind you. Does Jasmine buy a shit ton of plants?
No. Well, here's the thing. I told her to buy plants, and then we bought 2 plants, and they died. We killed them. Well, we didn't kill them. We try our best. We nurture them with love and water. But our apartment just doesn't get enough direct sunlight. Like there's just not a spot in
I've
this
seen
apartment
your apartment. It's
gets
tough.
lit evenly ever. So we have 1 spider plant that's been holding on, and that's our champion. Like the spider plant is the best, but everything else has just withered away at this point. But
I can't handle it emotionally. I've told Sarah that
Marvin has problems
you have to take care of them
with it.
I feel bad whenever they die. I'm just like, I can't do this. They're dying.
I feel really bad.
So I don't feel bad.
It reminds me of that Dimitri Martin joke where he's like, I got a cactus and it died, and I thought, man, I'm less nurturing than a desert.
So I guess it was always a thing, the plant thing, or I don't know. It feels like a fad. Like people are like, we need fucking plants.
It just
I
popped
think
up
during
further
the pandemic.
Quarantine.
I
you
think
think
with
so?
quarantine, people really got into being a plant parent.
It's like Ricardo. Baking was always a thing, but people just started baking more when there was a quarantine.
Yeah, and then there was like a flour and sugar shortage.
There's no entry points into plants. Like I think there's a pretty there's a through line from Animal Crossing to plants as well.
That's true.
There are a lot of house plants.
You know what? You're right,
game.
dude. I was always like, "What do you have in your island, dude? You got fucking apples? Bring me some apples."
I got apples, peaches. I got a monstera in my room.
What's your island flower? I got Cosmos over here.
Yeah. That's
I need them blue roses. What you got?
Yeah. You know what? I got dangerously too much into the goddamn fucking turnips, dude. Doesn't know you have a gambling problem, dude. You're like, I found an app online and it kind of predicts the fucking.
I used it.
I gotta wait till Thursday, and then Thursday afternoon I could sell them.
Jasmine is like an Animal Crossing pro. Like I was over here like, because there was like 3 of us staying in our apartments and we were all playing Animal Crossing like the rest of the world, right, at the beginning of the pandemic. And I'm over here like hitting my rocks like a pleb and being pushed back. And Jasmine's like putting little 3 holes so she can be like anchored and hit the rocks and she gets all the ores. I'm like, what? She knows all the stats.
It was like the Mario Brothers thing where like you get the unlimited like one lives
by
Mario
just
Brothers
jumping in the shell
yeah.
perfectly.
Yeah. You, if you get the right holes, you keep hitting that damn rock. Anyway, we're all plant people, I guess. Still, some people like to grow plants. Some people like to smoke them.
Why not los dos?
Yeah, it's a little bit of both. So Beverly's like, "Oh, my weed has gotten. That's weird that it grew this much." And then she does something that's really insulting, which is when somebody is like, he's like, "You didn't touch my shit, right? Did you? Did you touch my shit?" No, why would I touch your shit, dude? Okay, no. You know I wouldn't touch your shit. Okay, I just checking. It's like, that's so insulting when somebody does that. It's like, why would I touch your shit, dude?
You know, Marvin does this to me all the time. He does this to me all the time.
It's true.
Marvin will literally, he'll come to my room. Just the other day, he's like, "Did you close my curtains?"
But then
I'm like,
the next day.
"No, I didn't. I didn't close your curtains." He's like, "Well, because the curtains were open and now they're closed." I'm like, "I literally haven't gotten up from this seat in like 2 hours."
But then you did the next day. You closed my curtains.
No, I'm just saying.
I try not to do that because as a person who smokes weed at night, once everybody's gone to sleep, I don't know what I've done. Like, it's kind of like, I don't know what happens once the sun goes down. You know, it's like
this podcast is actually like a record of what you've done after you've gotten high, because there's so many episodes where you've been like, "I said that."
Yeah, that's true. It's true. Yeah. So somebody will post something and they're like, "Oh, it's the thing you said." I was like, I didn't, not me, somebody else. And they're like, "No, you said that. Like, listen to the clip." And they'll listen to the clip that Marvin cut, and I was like, "Oh my god, I can't believe I said that." So it is kind of weird. I could technically go and listen to the episodes and be like, "I don't remember. This is news to me."
You.
Yeah. So her weed's grown, and she's like, "Oh, this is fucking odd. It's another clue." And then they go. I guess they establish that Data's a horrible actor, right? Yeah, because they're like, "Did anything weird happen while we were passed out?" And he's like, "No, not here.
Nope.
Not that I know of. Who knows?" And he does a lot of overacting in this episode. But I guess we've established, like, when he does do plays, when Data does act for Picard, he's not quite there. He hasn't mastered the craft of acting,
of method acting.
Yeah. But yeah, and they're like, were we under longer than 30 seconds? And they're like, "Who knows? Who would know? Possibly.
Who's to say?"
It's like, God damn it! And I guess he can't lie either. So I get it, but it's like, can his programming?
Wouldn't it be more effective to order Data to lie?
Like, look, if I don't lie, they're gonna die. Like, can it balance in his head? Like, I don't know.
I think it can. I feel like it could.
Once you're that far away from them, what does it matter? You tell them.
I know.
There's some people over there. We're not supposed to know about them. Let's not go back. All right. You made me a promise not to say anything. Let's just not go back. I promise.
The order even could have been because Picard trusts Data. So when they wake back up, and Data could have been like, "Oh, Captain, you gave me previous orders. I'll explain later to get away from this planet before we start talking about what really happened."
Yes. You know what? That's a really good point, John. Like, why didn't he just like? I didn't even think about that, John, until you said that. Like, why didn't he just do that?
You know what? The captain would have trusted Data. Like, if Data would have said, he would have said, "I have orders that not to tell you from you.
Yep.
So don't ask." And then he would have been like, "Got it." Because like he trusted him with that trial a couple episodes ago.
Yeah,
he trusted him. He's trusted him so many times.
Data should have recorded him. Like, "Here, can I get it on video? Like, say it to the screen, and then I'll play back for you."
In Small Wonder, she could record shit. She could just play it back. Just play it open in her mouth. You're telling me Data can't do that, dude?
No,
fucking Geordi has predator vision. They can't just pull his visors and go, "Let's fucking run it back, dude. Run it back, dude. Let's watch the game tape."
Whatever Data does to reveal it later needs to still somehow be like fully concealed from the Paxons, though.
Yeah.
Here's the thing about the Paxons.
So he can't say anything like, "I'll explain later" in their presence.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Also, why can't we just go again? I'm so pissed that Picard didn't put up a fight, dude. It's like, oh, don't kill us. We'll do whatever you say. It's like, why didn't they try if the first time didn't work, they should try the second time. Like, hey, let's just, hey, Worf, fucking shoot the shit out of these guys, dude. We fought so many gaseous fucking aliens. You can't tell how many aliens that could just wipe out a group of people are we just gonna let go? Like fucking Tim, the Rickroll guy, just all right, you be here, we'll let you go, no problem. Like these people are a problem because what if somebody unintentionally, not in the Federation, just random explorers, random family gets lost, they end up here and they fucking get wiped out, dude.
Well, the idea was supposed to be that their safeguard was working. Their safeguard was knock everyone out, make it seem like it was a wormhole, and then they'll go about their day. It's just Data's unusual.
Data's fault.
Yeah.
But
then the counter argument to that is like, shouldn't that occur? I mean, Data will not be the only android in the universe.
I think Data is like the only one of his kind, though. Like
there's Lore. Lore's out there right now.
Yeah, but Lore isn't a known like entity out to everyone. Not everyone knows about Lore.
Lore's the Joker of this world, dude. He's just out there fucking causing havoc, dude. Killing people. Yeah. He's a serial killer, dude. He kills people and then fucking runs away, dude. He's like he's like the Riddler.
Ironically, Brent Spiner plays the Joker in Young Justice. Not very well, but he does.
Admittedly, it's like one of the worst Jokers I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Like both in character design and performance.
And then Young Justice actually makes a point to have the Joker not be a main character.
Yeah,
he's just there
Maybe
for
that's
like
why
one
it
episode.
Sucks.
So it's easy to waste that bad design on.
It's easy to just be like, he was just in that one episode, and then they move on.
So, do you prefer that Joker over the Batman Joker? That's like a Rasta, like Blanca monster thing.
No.
Which one do you prefer? Do you remember the Blanca Joker?
No. Almost every interpretation of characters in the Batman was the worst. Like they turned Mr. Freeze into like a common villain. Joker was like this, was essentially Blanca.
Well, you just reminded me that Kevin Michael Richardson has both played the Joker and Lex Luthor now.
Oh,
because he was Luthor in Brave and the Bold,
and he was Joker in the Batman. Okay, so that was
I believe that was Kamar.
Okay.
Also, speaking of animated series, R.I.P. Kevin Conroy.
Yeah.
I know, so sad.
Yeah,
like he was the man. He was Batman more than any other man ever was.
If he had just lasted 3 more years.
Well, aside from Adam West, I guess. Adam West are like the most Batman.
Complete. If they're the two sides of Batman, right? There's the very campy Batman, and then you have like the serious Batman, and then
I don't know, dude. George Clooney's my Batman.
His way, the
lips.
Is it really my way or the highway?
Fucking Clooney. I once went to a Q&A with George Clooney before Confessions of a Dangerous Mind, and he came out and they're like, oh, and the filmmaker George Clooney, and he came out and the first thing he said when he opened his mouth and got to the mic was, I apologize for Batman. That's
that's not even his fault.
No. Like he did the job he was given.
He had a script. He read it out.
Dude, as a kid, I loved those movies so much. I used to have all the action figures from like the whole series, like every 90s movies of Batman. Loved them all. Loved them all.
I remember how many commercials that used the Batman Forever like OST with a bunch of like translucent cubes. Getting destroyed by missiles and
oh man, I was always pissed because I was like, these don't come with cubes.
Like, you want the cubes to destroy things.
Yeah, you're lying to me.
Dude, peak overacting Arnold in Batman and Robin would have been the perfect con in my readjustment of it against fucking.
I could see Arnold being a con. Easy.
No shirt.
He does the soliloquy at the end where he goes, "From hell's heart I strike at."
He could do it.
His accent.
He can do it.
I could totally see him doing that.
He can still do it.
For hate's sake, I spit.
So they have a meeting and they're like, "Fucking Data's acting weird, guys. What the fuck's fuck's happening? And they bring him in to like, they set up a trap for him, basically. They're like, what do you think happened here, Data? And he's like, I think there's
this weird article that says that sometimes time can change things.
I read Wired that
he starts QAnoning, you know?
It's funny. Anytime somebody tells me like something weird, like they're like, "Oh, you shouldn't believe that because blah blah," and I'm like, "Where did you get this? Where did you watch it?" And they're like, "Well, is this documentary?" I'm like, "From where? This documentary on YouTube? Get the fuck out of here, dude!"
Jet fuel can't melt steel beams, sir.
Yeah, they're like, well, 9/11 was a conspiracy. I'm like, motherfucker, you tell one person a secret. Tell one person a secret, dude.
Yeah.
And that person will tell somebody within the next 3 hours, dude. You can't keep. You're telling me thousands of people kept the secret, you piece of shit, dude.
Yeah. Also, like I have extended family who died in one of the planes. It's not like it actually happened.
Yeah, they were actors, dude. Now they're in fucking Cuba living the life, dude. It's your fault for believing they died, dude.
Crisis actors.
I know, dude. Yeah. They're hanging out with Tupac and Biggie in Cuba.
Yeah.
So they basically are like, fucking Data is fucking lying. It's weird that he would lie.
Yeah.
And it's true, and they're like,
when did Data become a QAnon? Yeah.
I know.
And I like Jordy's like assertion. He's like, no, that's false. I can't believe you would even say that.
I've lost all respect.
But in the room, they're like, yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense. That
get out of here, Data.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
And then as soon as he leaves, he's like, he's fucking crazy, dude. What the fuck is happening, dude? And finally they start unraveling the clues, like Worf's hand's broken and they can't figure out why that's a thing. And
the hand breaking is an important clue because it confirms they were awake during what Beverly believes is a 24-hour time skip.
Yeah,
so they weren't just knocked out, they were actually doing stuff. So.
And then we find out that fucking Deanna Troi just beat the shit out of Worf. By the way, Worf is a chump, dude.
That's unfortunate.
We already talked about jobbers in this episode. Worf is a straight up jobber the whole series so far.
Oh man, that's so unfortunate because it just means that if Deanna is angry enough, she will.
Because an entity can enter your body and make you stronger than you are. You have the strength that you have.
What they're showing here. Yeah.
Yeah. Is that what it? Because he's like, there's only two people, Deanna Troi and Data. He's like, oh, that's interesting. It's an interesting two people.
Like if it was Tasha, I could have been like, okay, I could see Tasha doing that. Tasha is trained and she's strong.
She's the head of security, and
and then but it's Deanna, the person.
I mean, I love how like he completely discounts the use of like weaponry or anything.
Yeah.
Or he just fell during the 24 hours.
Like a barrel could have fallen on his wrist.
Yeah.
We don't speak of barrels yet.
And then they're like, they really interrogate fucking Data. They're like, listen up, fucking, where the fuck is Bin Laden? And he's like, I don't know. What the fuck are you talking about, you idiots? And they try to waterboard him, and they're like, nothing. He's like, doesn't work on me, you idiots. And so they know something's gone wrong, and they don't know if like his like circuits have gone all crossed, and he's and
something's off.
Yeah, a little piece of me was like, motherfucker, is this lore, dude? If this is Lord Tashida,
I actually had that thought myself.
Oh, that would have been a really cool twist. Oh.
Yeah, like lore, like put him all to sleep, like Riddler shit, dude. He put him all to sleep, and then he killed Data in some sort of vent that he fucking tried to hit him in, and this is lore, and he's trying to fuck with everybody because he's always been made fun of or something.
Yeah, I didn't know
I did it because you keep making fun of me.
There was an evil Data. If I did, that would have been my first thought.
He has a twin. He has a younger brother named Lore, or an older brother named Lore. Yeah,
an older brother.
Yeah, and his car is exactly the same as a Knight Rider, but it just has gray paneling.
Dope.
And so they slowly realize, and then fucking Deanna Troi gets possessed, dude, in the night.
And she has that like demon voice.
Yeah. I thought,
somebody with a deep voice here has to imitate it. Someone I can't do a deep voice, Sarah? If I try to.
Who do you think has the deepest voice, Sarah? Sarah, who has?
Is this a trick question?
God damn
it's just pitch shifted. It's just her voice pitch shifted down. That's all.
Is that what it is?
And I thought I've seen this movie before. This feels a lot like Ninja 3, The Domination.
Okay, this is a weird pull. She actually reminds me of the Goa'uld from Stargate SG-1 because they also pitch shift them almost exactly the same way. And they all sound like, "Oh, you were interfering in our blah blah blah."
Yeah, and then at one point, Deanna goes, "I like you. You're crazy, bro."
I've tried to do a deep voice and I can't. Like I've literally tried it with Marv. I can't do it.
Like
right now.
I just can't. I can't.
Can you shift your voice to be anything other than your voice, Sarah? Can you go tater?
You gotta just talk from your chest.
Okay, I think this is as low as like. I don't know. I can't even like make myself do it. Okay, hold on. This is how low I can go.
Well, can you go higher?
That's literally how low I can go. Like,
so I heard from a professional singer before in college. He told me that actually women's vocal cords and male vocal cords are technically slightly different. It's why males can go into falsetto and women can't. I don't know if this is true. This is
genitalia is different as well.
This is why singers who learned. This is why singers who claim they have the widest range of notes that they can sing are almost always men, because apparently it's because they could go into falsetto and also go really deep.
That's why
I'm not sure.
That's why back in the day
they didn't. How deep I can go.
They used to not let women sing.
That was pretty deep.
And then they let them vote, and now they can do anything.
I didn't know it was like a physiology. I thought it was just, the patriarchy. I thought it just
could be the patriarchy.
Singing teachers for men,
Let me verify this so I don't tell a whole.
We're gonna get a lot of emails.
We're getting a lot of emails like, you guys don't know shit about Star Trek
red pilling us right now.
Oh no!
I mean, you guys can probably go pretty high. What's the highest you can go, John?
Well, guys, it depends on how much weed you smoke.
Yeah, it's pretty high.
Yeah.
Okay, now you got to go the lowest you can go.
The lowest I can go? I guess this will be it right here.
I love this. This is funny. Oh my God. I've tried this with Marvin before. I've literally tried to like make my voice lower. I can't fucking do it. Like it's like hard.
Well, okay, then that might mean that you're at like the lowest register in general for yourself.
But then I hear
how much
myself
higher
back.
can you go?
Oh, I can go much higher.
Here's a little bit of a trivia fact for you guys, for Jasmine next time she comes in, but she cannot whistle outwards. She can only whistle.
Really?
Oh, that's interesting.
Oh. Yeah. I think I used to be like that earlier. And when I was younger, that was the only way I could consistently get the sound.
Wait, you can whistle by like breathing in?
Yeah.
So just from my quick Googling, I have learned that physiologically, the only physical difference between male and female vocal cords is that male vocal cords just tend to be larger. And because the size is what determines how deep it goes, you can like...
Dude, you're dirty, dude.
What are we talking about?
Listen.
Okay.
This is going to continue as I explain, all right? So size determines how deep it goes.
Yeah.
And because
it's the ocean of the ocean, dude.
Because if it's smaller, you can't just make it bigger just because you want it to. But if it's bigger, you can make it smaller if you wanted to.
I guess, yeah.
So that's why they generally consider, because you can just always constrict your vocal cords smaller, but you can't just stretch them huger, right? So that's why apparently.
Well, you can't just put like an oil on it.
We're working on it, dude.
Yeah.
Just drink some KY before you start singing, and then.
Have you ever seen those like ads?
So like
there's also
does
primary
that, like, stop you from like getting low voices, like
well, there's also primary and secondary vocal cords. Like, for example, people who sing in falsetto and sing like death metal, where it's very growly, but they don't want to destroy their voices. They use their secondary vocal cords, which is not really vocal cords; it's just an area above your throat. Blah blah blah. There's a whole world out there of
it's very interesting
singing theory, but it's
just
about the size.
Like Miley Cyrus, she's a Jolene. So these
I'm thinking about penis oil at the moment.
I know.
Those ads, they put it on a vegetable.
Well,
it like doubles in size. It's
the vegetable.
Yeah.
Oh boy, what kind of oil is this?
That sounds like a vegetable product then.
Yeah.
Wow,
that sounds like the cure to world hunger.
Yeah, this is a world hunger solver.
Yeah.
Like, so long as everyone likes eggplant, you're good.
Yeah.
It's a lot of people who don't like GMOs in their vegetables. But how about some oil?
It's like you get like a little mini cucumber. You put the oil on it, and then it's like it's like a full
It's a big throbbing veiny cucumber.
And it's the oil,
Yeah.
Put some tahini on the
but it can't stay that way forever. You have to eat it right away.
Yeah. It's
not going to stay that way forever.
Refractory period.
Who believes
Yeah, but if it
stuff,
stays that big for like 5 hours, you should probably go see somebody.
You should call a farmer if you're a cucumber.
Farmer.
It turns your PP into a cucumber.
Wait, that's a different thing entirely.
No. That's alchemy. That's transmutation, sir.
Oh, okay. Sorry. That's where my mind went. Okay.
Yeah.
Sarah, first you insult our voices, now you're insulting your goddamn dick oils. So then this part of the episode happens, which is Data's like, anyway, Deanna's like possessed now. There's an alien there, and she's like, yes, there is an alien here. and then they're like, he's like, yeah, so we're gonna die, but let me tell you the story before you. And I like how the alien's not like, fuck you guys are all dead, and just snaps its fingers and everybody's dead. Like they're like, no, explain, Data. Let them know how dumb these people are. So let me, and then there's a flashback. I don't like, there should have been that little Ripley effect that happened when you have a flashback, and then the harp.
Yeah.
And then he's like, all right, so anyway, you guys fell asleep. I woke you guys up, and then this ghoul showed up and was gonna kill everybody. And then you just caved in, Picard. You didn't put up a fight. You said, erase our minds. We don't want to die. We're too young to die, you said.
In the flashback, like the Paxton like takes over Deanna, but she's if I remember correctly, she doesn't speak. She just gets up really quick, and then Worf is just like, I'm gonna shoot this bitch right now. He throws his gun on her like immediately. All she did was get up quickly,
But you know what, John? I you know what? Good on Worf, because I've been saying it for years. Well, not years. We've only done this show for 2, but I've been saying it for many episodes that when weird shit happens, no one goes, whoa. Anytime there's weird shit, let's not question it. Let's go with it, dude. Let's fucking. But Worf finally did what I always wanted him to do, which is weird shit happens. They're like, Deanna doesn't stand up this fast. Let's fucking shoot the shit out of her, dude. And that's the attitude I want from everybody on the Enterprise.
I think I found the moment just now, and Deanna just she does actually manage to say, "You have invaded our system" or something. Like that's.
But she doesn't know her
like, what the fuck? She doesn't know that Deanna is saying that randomly.
Your voice is too low.
Yeah. Worf is like, "There's a woman speaking. Shoot her." Sexist, dude.
Oh, no.
And so
Your vocal cords are incapable of that.
She didn't put any dick oil on those vocal cords. And so, God damn it, Sarah, why did you put dick oil in her mind, dude? That's all we're gonna be thinking about.
Now our minds are so huge.
Yeah. So she's like, yes, you guys are all gonna die of stigmata. Again, you think Picard caved in this fast, or is this the retelling of the story through the eyes of Data? Like Data's like, yeah, and then you gave.
I think it's more of a retelling, just because it's happening so fast.
Yeah,
and I feel like
you think like that. Maybe Picard actually like tried to negotiate, but then the way it's like telephone, like Data's like,
it's definitely more sped up. It feels more sped up than a normal encounter of Picard with an alien, a new alien life form would be. So I think
I'd rather not like believe that Data is an unreliable narrator, though.
Not unreliable, but he's telling a truncated version of events.
He likes to embellish.
That's all. Yeah.
He's trying to make he's
I feel like this is headcanon. This is bordering on copium here.
Yeah, it could be.
Data's like, and then Deanna came out of nowhere and she was wearing lingerie. Yeah.
And we can see everything.
And she was a blonde now.
And she was blonde, and it was really weird.
Either way, it's clear it's because they're doing it for the runtime. Whether it's
I get it.
Data saying it quickly or so. Yeah, so I'm fine with it. Yeah.
It's still funny. And then they're like, and then they erase your minds. Oh, okay. Then they just snap their fingers. Well, I guess if they could kill us all in one shot, they have the power to just instantaneously wipe our minds. Oh no, that takes them. That's a whole day job. But how long was it going to take them to kill all of us?
Yeah, I don't know.
That's my question. Like, were they going to die instantly, or were they going to take like 3 days to be like, all right, everybody get in fucking line, dude. You're dead.
They were probably just going to like suck all the air out or something and kill them that way. Maybe, I don't know.
But they can't suck out all their memories that fast. That
seems more difficult than sucking out air. You know,
it is more difficult, but then that just like, you know, it just brings up the question of like, wow, they were so willing to like work with us here.
Maybe they're just not assholes. Maybe they're good people.
But also they never say like, look, we're just a bunch of Howard Hughes over here. We're agoraphobic. We don't like to go outside. And,
I like how Data calls him xenophobic. Like, which
they
I think
are.
They are. It's just funny how like using that term at that time, it didn't have quite the same connotation as it might have today.
Oh yeah. So they're xenomorphic. They're gonna
no, not like aliens, but I'm talking about never mind.
Autoerotic
xenomorphia.
Yeah.
They were into really some crazy stuff. It's better if you just don't remember them, Captain. They're into some weird shit.
Yeah.
David like, wait, there's a clue. There's a belt on this doorknob.
Oh my god!
Yeah, he's all, wait a minute.
There's bottles of dick jelly everywhere.
There's big ass cucumbers everywhere.
All of her vocal cords are bruised.
So that's why it took a day.
Yeah. And O'Brien's like, there's just a bunch of empty bottles of fucking dick juice everywhere.
Just stuffed into a cabinet.
Yeah. Data embellishing again. He's like, yeah, and then the alien said, "Oh, everybody have an orgy, or we'll kill you." And then everybody all have an orgy. God damn!
As long as you make us forget it afterward.
Yeah, and then basically the whole thing happens again. They're like, all right, erase our minds this time. Let's have no clues left. And it's like, okay, how are they going to solve the Deanna Troi problem, which is that she is going to see herself as a ghoul when she goes to the mirror. They're like, break all the mirrors in the fucking ship. Number one.
Take away Beverly's weed.
Hide her weed.
Blind Deanna Troi and tell her she's always been this way.
Yeah, they don't really go over like how they fix it the second time around, I guess. But
as soon as they come to, have Data just go and just smack the crap out of Worf's hand.
He's like,
would you do that?
I think there's a space bug there.
Yeah. And then he pokes Deanna's eyes so she doesn't even look in the mirror. She's like, fuck you. And then, so they wipe their mind again. It takes a whole fucking day, another day. You think they learned the first time and be like, well, now we cut it down to half a day because we learned it the first time.
They're better
now
at
this
it now.
second time went a lot faster. But it took another whole day. And then Picard's like, what happened? What the fuck happened? Oh, there's something weird going on. And then Data's like, I think we just better just get out of here. And they're like, all right, let's get out of here.
We should put a probe here, by the way, to also let people know we shouldn't come here. So
yeah. It was weird. I liked it. I don't know if I liked it because what my mind imagined, or I don't know. Maybe I'm just in a good mood and I let a lot of things slip. There's a lot of things wrong with this episode, but it's silly and it's funny and I want more dick oil in it.
It was a heavily rewritten episode. So the episode, it's actually another spec script. And this time it was written by a fan specifically of TNG named Bruce Arthurs. It's the only thing he ever wrote for TNG. But he submitted the script and then Michael Piller liked it enough that he was like, okay, let's use this idea. But the problem is he wrote it before Wesley left. So he wasn't sure how to configure it to work with the new series. So that's where a lot of the rewrite happened. And I wonder if that's where some of different ideas for why events, what the clues are, could be less, let's say.
Well, I would imagine if Wesley was around and the writer and the spec writer was writing per the show's usual MO, Wesley would have been the one figuring out a lot of stuff.
I don't know for sure because I can't find a copy of the original script, because they probably have never even put it out anywhere. But I would imagine he does probably play a part, at least, as he often does in these sort of things. So that's probably why there's maybe there are plot holes anyway. I don't know.
Yeah.
The main thing I was, because I forgot how it ended. And the main thing I was actually expecting was that the aliens go, but we've already done this 5 times. It's clearly not working.
That's a totally Matrix outcome.
Yeah, exactly. Like the end of fucking Inception. They twirl something and it keeps spinning, and they're like, "Oh my god, is it gonna topple over?" And then cut the credits.
I kept on thinking Memento. It was Memento all day for me in my head.
So I thought it had already happened again. So they were going.
Picard goes to take a shower and he's got a bunch of tattoos on his chest.
It's on his belly. He goes, don't trust Data's lies.
Don't take dick oil. Don't trust the dick oil.
The dick oil means something.
Yeah.
Your dick will turn into a cucumber.
Don't smoke Beverly Space Weed.
Don't smoke.
So then I was just hoping they would be like, okay, let's talk with the aliens, and then be like, see, xenophobia is stupid. Don't be xenophobia. Be open.
Right. That's why I thought it was funny that Dave's like, well, they're xenophobic, and Picard's like, well, shit, we better wipe all our memories then. They're xenophobic, guys.
Yeah. So I guess if I were to rate it, I would give it an 8.5 because I wasn't even thinking about how many. Normally, I don't care about plot holes that much. But the main problem is that this is a mystery. And because it's a mystery, plot holes and mysteries are entirely based on logic. Yeah. It's really important for the plot holes to not really be there. It's why imagine an Agatha Christie novel full of plot holes. You would just be like, well, I don't trust this mystery writer then. So
you mean all those Kenneth Branagh adaptations?
Oh, is that a
they have a lot of plot holes.
Yeah, well,
and they're Agatha Christie's adaptations.
Yeah, so,
I'm willing to be slightly more forgiving of these plot holes because they're kind of peripheral to what's happening throughout the episode. The intrigue maintains itself until the end.
Yeah, that's true. And usually I'm also more forgiving of plot holes or logical inconsistencies if it makes the theme very strong. But this episode doesn't really have a theme.
It's just Picard likes clues. Picard likes solving mysteries.
He likes playing the game Clue.
His favorite cartoon, Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, and he loves Blue's Clues. Here's the thing, that this episode's so damn silly that it went so silly that I didn't. Usually I go, oh fuck, this is stupid. God damn it, dude. Why did you guys give me a stupid episode this time? The stupid writers. God damn it. But this time I was like, this is so silly. God damn it. So I'm gonna give it a 7.5.
All right. Well, what about the rest of you guys?
I'm in the 7 range myself.
I'm gonna go with an 8.
Oh.
I enjoyed it. I thought it was good. It was different, silly, fun.
A lot of dick oil talk.
Yeah. It was fun. But also, another episode of Data kind of, he's a robot and he's not affected by these things and therefore kind of has to like figure shit out.
Oh, that was one point that I thought was really odd. Because Captain Picard, as he's trying to like convince Data to like just tell us what's going on, he says like, if you don't do that, you realize not only will you lose your career in Starfleet, they're going to like tear you apart to figure out what's going on in your brain. Yeah. And they had an entire episode dedicated to the idea that you can't do that because Data is his own autonomous person. And thus you can't just control his body.
You can't just like strip him down.
It's his body, his choice.
Yeah, so I thought that was a bit odd.
Yeah, that's a little hypocritical.
Yeah, because like what is Starfleet gonna like, is it called Starfleet or?
Yeah. Starfleet.
Yeah. I don't know why, but I thought, I was like, oh wait, is that the people from Buzz Lightyear? Like,
that's Star Command.
That's Star Command. So
it's close enough. It's close enough.
Yeah, would they just like go against all like Geneva conventions and be like, waterboard this droid,
fuck this guy.
Yeah.
Well, they had in the episode. In a previous episode, they were essentially about to do that, and Picard had to like defend, his personhood in like a courtroom type of setting.
Yeah, because in Measure of a Man, the argument the other guy's making is that, well, he's essentially a computer. You're allowed to do with the computer whatever you want, and then Picard goes, no, he's alive. He's a human, and then. The slightest mistake we make of the idea that even if we think he's not human, we don't know for sure. So we should err on the side of caution. And,
I've seen that episode.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Next time
one of the ones that I've seen.
Next time someone asks me, what is Measure of Man of? What's the episode about? I'm going to say their Measure of Man is about it's a whole courtroom drama where they're talking about whether you should measure from the gooch to the tip. God damn it, dude.
There's like a murder case that's dependent on this.
Yeah, it's dependent on how you measure your dick.
Yeah.
And how much of a man are you pre dick oil and post dick oil?
Yeah.
Does it matter that you're permanently this size or only temporarily this size?
With dick oil and from the gooch, it's a different measurement of this man, Your Honor.
How do you measure a man? That's the question.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my gosh, man! If I was a guy, I would definitely measure 100%.
From the gooch?
Yeah, I would measure.
Yeah, would you measure from the gooch or from like the
taint?
I would have both numbers handy.
Yeah. You would have more information. You're smart. You're smart.
More information.
More information, and then depending on the situation, we'll see which number.
Also, I metric to make it a higher number.
Yeah. It's kind of like you give the if a lady, you go to a club and someone asks you anywhere, you give both numbers. You're like look, if we're talking about gooch measurements from the gooch, then this is what I am.
Yeah, look, you have it written down on a piece of paper in your pocket.
At this point, you might as well
you know it. You know the numbers. It's like. You know.
Yeah, I would totally do that. See, these are things that when you're. It's like one of those things, like since I'm a woman, it's like, man, if I had, if I was in a guy body for like a day, this is what I would do. I would do the following items. Definitely. 100%.
Yeah.
Measure.
Instead of ordering dick oils off of Amazon.
Yeah, get the oils. See what's happening. Yeah, 100%.
It would be fascinating to be in a female body for a day. You'd be like, wow, it is a hole.
I don't even want to know what guys would do. Guys would probably go crazy.
What can fit in this hole? Let's see.
How many coins can I put in there?
Let's try it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's hopefully maybe there'll be an episode about this in Star Trek where you can switch bodies for a day.
I'm sure there's like a Freaky Friday episode.
Yeah, the technology must exist, right?
Yeah.
Like they get transported.
I'm hoping there is like a gender
confused.
swap episode later down the line, because that would just be like funny hijinks, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
Also,
John, what would you rate it? Sorry.
Rate it. Well, I was gonna say, like, Data was like willing to die for this secret.
Oh yeah.
He was like, I will die. For
Data
this.
is completely selfless. That's always been his MO.
Data's a G.
Yeah. He's always
a real one.
He's willing to always sacrifice himself for the greater good, like immediately. So
they're like, what do you measure Data? He's like, the lowest number. To give him the lowest number.
Yeah.
So safety.
Very noble.
Very noble. So honest.
Yeah.
If I was rating this, and I have never rated another episode of TNG, so I don't have like anything to compare it to.
That's perfect.
You can compare this to TV in general.
But
exactly
I would say like 7 or 8. I enjoyed it. I thought I like Data as a character. I like like Measure of a Man. I like that episode a lot.
Okay. So John, check this out. So is Measure of a Man like a 10? You think?
Yeah, I really like that episode.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is that's a good gooch measurement. So how much shorter is this episode?
Yeah,
so
I
like
think this is more like a 7 then.
Okay.
Because it's a silly episode. I like mysteries as well. I think that's definitely why Jasmine chose it, because I like a whodunit. I like mysteries a lot. I like theorizing about why this is happening. So I did have a lot of fun watching it. Just been like, why is Data being so weird? Like, was it justified? I don't know. But yeah. No, it was. I would say it's about like a 7.5. 7.5. Nice. Final answer. Boom.
All right. Well, it's Clues. It is a fun romp of a mystery episode that ultimately means nothing because they just leave and Data has to keep the secret forever. And no one. I do find it weird that it ends that way, where it's like they do just try again and then it works, and now Data always knows, and then they never.
What's funny is that like the final shot of it, or before it cuts to the ship outside, is like it's that Data almost smile. As soon as he
just loves doing that.
At the point where he's about to actually crack a smile, he tilts his head instead.
Yeah.
He does kind of do that.
I should have been keeping record of things like that. I like, is this going to come back? Is this not going to come back? But I didn't do it.
Like 9 times out of 10, no.
I would like to know about this one. Are they ever like in like 4 seasons in after this one? They're like, Data's like, remember that one time when you guys all passed out? Yeah, I put dick oil all over you guys. He's like, but no. In all seriousness, you guys almost died twice because you guys.
You guys have no idea.
No idea.
Like, what are you talking about, Data?
This is like the most. This is like the most intense game of the game ever.
I think it should have ended with like Gloria from Cleveland like coming out and be like, I solved it. Like, she was doing the simulation the whole time.
She just comes out of the holodeck. It's like, yes. And she's like holding a trophy.
That would be amazing.
All right. Clues. There's an episode of Newbie Star Trek. Thanks for listening, everybody. If you guys have been enjoying the podcast, if you could give us, a review or a rating, or on YouTube, a thumbs up wherever you are. You can
tell us how much you like John's work.
Leave
some comments, leave some love, because it's awesome.
I enjoy that people have been checking it out and pointing out the little jokes in the background. They go, "Oh, it's a thing. Oh, it's happening."
Oh my gosh,
that means people are actually
so awesome.
like watching it as it plays, which is
not just like listening to it, which is really cool. Yeah.
I will pitch that the YouTube versions do have better audio, and I'm uploading them at 1440p so that they look as good as they can be. So.
Do you guys know that like Ricardo and Sarah's rigs are like significantly more complicated than Marvin's and intense.
Really? Of course, I'm more complicated.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah.
All the dick oil talk.
For people who haven't noticed yet, John, in order to like make it, first of all, I told John to just animate it like the TOS animated series. Because I was like, they did it really like cheapy back then. Their mouths just moved, but their heads and body were perfectly still. And John was like, no, I'm going to animate it really cool. And then he even put a rig where if I am talking, Sarah's eyes will dart over to me to watch me talk. And if Dan is talking, Ricardo's eyes will dart over to Dan. So that you can see him
side eye me.
Yeah. And Dan's eyes will roll every time I talk about Del Taco. He's like, "Oh, here we go, Del Taco." Here we go.
There's all sorts of details like that throughout the whole thing.
Cool. Yeah, it's Marvin shows me these things, or I watch it myself on YouTube every now and then. I'm like, "Whoa, this is so cool!" Like. It's insane.
Sarah's hair is like, there's a lot going on.
I know. I love it.
Every rig was so much more intense, and then I dumped it down. Yours, Sarah, yours is the most complicated rig for sure because you have long hair.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. So that makes it more complicated?
There's a lot of layers going on.
Wait, so there's physics to it?
Yeah, there was more physics to it. I had to dumb it down significantly, so now it's not as much. But your hair had so much not necessarily physics, but like a lot of different values on how your voice affected. Because it's all being driven by the voice. That's the only driving force that's driving animations. But they're all driven by different parameters, and your hair had all sorts of different numbers attached to it.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh my God, nuts. That's so cool.
And to put it in perspective, the way the rig currently is now if I'm rendering just the hosts, just to let the audience know, I render out the background, the drinks, and the hosts separately because it's otherwise way too big of a project. And just the hosts, if it's like an hour long for 4 hosts, takes like 4 hours to render. So and it grows exponentially. So the longer it is, the longer After Effects takes to render. So actually, John, remember how you were saying like you after a certain point you just couldn't even render anymore in your machine? And I have a really beefy machine. So I have a 3090 and a 1080 Ti.
Oh, here we go. Measuring from the gooch again.
But then even that, I was
really beefy, okay?
Even that, I was trying to render a 2-hour episode, and that just stalled at an hour and 30. It would only do like a frame every 10 seconds. So I actually have to split up the podcast. And it's crazy. I just want the audience to know how much time John put into the rig.
A lot of beef into the rig.
Just a lot of optimizing.
A lot of dick oil hours.
Render it out properly.
It's
maybe we got a little too crazy with the
it does look
with the rigs.
No,
it's amazing.
I think it's fantastic. I legitimately think there is no visual podcast that looks like it. I don't think anything totally else even
unique.
Comes close to
Nothing looks anything. I've never seen anything like this.
It's really not Trek related. Absolutely not.
You know what? It's so beautiful.
So cool.
Question: Does what is it called? What's that stupid website called? The one I'm always talking about, guys.
What?
The website
you're always talking about?
The website?
The website. Yeah, what's the website I'm talking about all the time?
Twitter?
Pornhub. That's it.
Pornhub.
Okay, that one.
If you upload videos that have nothing to do with porn, do they take them off? I'm gonna start uploading our videos.
No,
they're actually some successful Minecraft guys.
On Pornhub. There's a lot. There's actually a surprising amount of Let's Players on Pornhub that just upload Let's Plays. Yeah. Because Pornhub doesn't care.
2 windows up, one's got porn, one's got
I mean, they don't kink shame,
Star
man.
Trek.
Yeah. There was that. There's that Mimi guy that was like the emotionally supportive guy. Like it's all like, emotionally supports you through like getting stuck in the dishwasher or something like that.
I don't know if it's the same guy, but what I remember is like a guy who would like have like a typical like porn sounding title, but it would be a very wholesome interpretation of the title.
Like 3 men work on a table. And they're actually building a table together versus like,
and they're helping you through it, like emotionally or something.
They're
like, hey, we'll build this. You know what? Honestly, that's really awesome and attractive. If you can build IKEA furniture, that's a big plus. It's a big plus.
Well, I built a lot of IKEA.
Yeah, you built me something today, actually.
That's true, actually.
Oh, nice.
You built
Get
me
a room,
shelf.
you two.
Yeah, dude.
I know. Damn.
Yeah,
Thank you for building my shelf for my room.
You guys talk about your own dick oils on your own time.
Well, anyway, if you guys really liked the YouTube and the podcast, just give us a rating or a review wherever you are. Apple Podcast, Podcast Addict, YouTube.
Smash that like button.
Yeah.
And
Call to action.
Well, we can actually say that about the YouTube stuff, huh?
I know,
forgot.
And subscribe and blah, blah, blah. Make sure that bell's blah, blah, blah. So you could never miss out on a blah, blah, blah.
Yeah,
It doesn't really work that well.
You know, if you're new to fucking YouTube, you got bigger problems. You don't need to smash that like button, dude. If you this is the first time you're fucking hearing about the like button,
yeah,
oof.
Yeah,
you got
like it if you want it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Otherwise, that's
figure out
fine.
your life and then come back.
Or even worse, if you don't know how to subscribe at this point at YouTube, then I don't know.
Yeah.
We can't help you. We can't.
Yeah,
help
yeah.
Or maybe they're time travelers. And then welcome.
Oh.
we don't even
It's
want
shitty
you as
here.
a listener.
you. Yeah. You know what? Actually, do us a favor. Do not subscribe if you don't know how to subscribe. So,
Get out of here.
just get out of here, okay?
But hey, if you're like Nicole Ritchie, who's an avid listener, what's her name?
What? Nikki?
Who the fuck?
Nikki. What's her little listener that's always sending us mail?
Back then it's been a while, but Nikki sent us a bunch of email back in the day.
Yes.
No, we had a Jackie.
Oh, it's a Jackie. Sorry, you meant
Oh my
Jackie.
God.
Even you
It's
forgot?
Jackie.
You
It's
guys
Jackie,
are terrible.
Yeah.
Jackie,
Sorry.
if you're listening to this, stop right now. We don't deserve you.
Yeah. Also, God.
I'm horrible at names. Yeah, so I'm sorry.
No,
I've
don't use that
infected Marvin.
excuse.
Jesus fucking Christ, guys.
Look,
Jackie, Jesus.
thank you for your service,
Where Jackie
Jackie.
stands.
Yeah. Also, Nicole Ritchie, if you're listening to this, thank you. We don't know if she doesn't. You know.
Well, listen,
Very
if y'all want to
possible.
send us an email to ask us a question, show us a complaint, whatever,
complaints. We're not gonna read
comments,
them.
whatever. You can always
Marvin
email
will read
us.
it, and I won't read it. I don't care enough.
You can always email us at contact@newbiestartrek.com. That's contact@newbiestartrek.com. Okay. This week's email is from Terrence. I think Terrence
Jackie.
has emailed us before, but
Terrence?
Yeah, that sounds familiar. But
Is it Terrence Malick? I know that dude.
So it reads, Parisi Squares is the subject line.
Oh.
I love the show, guys. You do an excellent job. Keep it up, Ricardo. Marvin, you are doing a great job moderating. And Dan, I like your outlook on certain things. And Sarah, your voice is calming. I will also
wow.
Yeah. Not a deep
Nice.
voice.
I love it when
That's
people love my
calming.
outlook on things.
That's very surprising about my voice because it's very high, and I don't associate
add.
high voices with calm.
Also, screw you,
So-
Ricardo. You just made me look up who Nicole Ritchie is. And I had completely forgotten about that person.
You're welcome.
Isn't she the one where
Nicole Richie?
Is
Yeah.
she
You mean
Yeah.
like Paris and
Hilton's-
Nicole? Yeah.
Lionel Richie's daughter, dude.
Yeah.
Great
yeah.
Lionel
Oh
Richie.
shit, that's what she's from?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought she was just
Yeah.
friends
She's
with
from
Paris
Lionel
Hilton.
Richie.
Yeah, she's from Lionel Richie's
She's from
loins.
Lionel Richie. Yeah.
Actually, she might
At
not
least
be his
one
biological
gamete was.
daughter.
Yeah,
I
it's
think
from The
she's
Simple Life
adopted.
from,
Yeah.
Paris and Nicole and
Yeah.
things.
No,
Yeah.
Nicole
Yeah.
Richie's actually adopted, so not
Yeah.
biologically.
Okay, Marvin, we know
Yeah,
that.
but-
I
but
think
Lionel
everyone knows
said
Richie-
one
that.
gamete, so she's not biologically. That's why I was just
I thought
explaining.
everyone
One-
knew that.
Jeez,
One Lionel is
you
as good as
freaking
the next one,
Hollywood
dude.
I know
people.
that.
I was just explaining.
Who
That's all.
remember
You're always
everything
shaming
about
fucking
these
adopted people,
celebs.
Marvin. Come on, dude.
God damn it! All right,
I
question.
went to a restaurant once and Lionel Richie was sitting behind me.
Did
question.
He? Yes. Marvin wants to get the
That's
question.
my
Go ahead.
Lionel Richie story.
What did Terrence say?
Question. In all the Star Trek shows, I guess that was in the TNG timeline. Did they ever show what a game of Parisi Squares looks like or how the game is played? It mentioned in TNG a lot, such as the episode Future Imperfect with Riker imaginary son when he's in sickbay. I know they say it's not for young children to play, but they still let kids play it. Thanks for the time to read my email. The podcast rocks. Sorry for my 90s outburst.
Wait. What is this thing he's talking about?
What 90s outburst?
Yeah, one. I was going to ask 90s outburst.
Maybe he did it all for the nookie.
I think they actually never.
What is Terrence talking about? What is Parisi?
I don't think they ever actually show it. The only time you see any physical remnant of it is, remember the episode where all the crew, I forget what it was, but all the crew were like doing shore leave, and then like Picard's like, "Oh, I'm going to read an old Dixon Hill novel." It was 11001001. It was that was the episode.
It's like the old Jason.
And then people also for like Data was painting, and Geordi was helping him paint and all that. And then Worf and Tasha were gonna go play Parisi squares, and they were dressed in those like really tight,
like, almost like a Nerf outfit, kind of like American Gladiator stuff. American Gladiator. Yeah.
In my mind, I know.
I remember now.
Yeah. I'm gonna put a picture of it in the chat that we have.
Just describe it. Describe it.
Well, they're all wearing like
it's like spandex jumpsuits.
Spandex blue jumpsuits with like one shoulder pad.
This game, I could describe it. This game is probably like Tron. They got discs and you throw them, and
I could easily see Tron being played that way. It also reminds me of that Batman Beyond. Like
I was about to say, I in my head canon is always that Batman Beyond game where
the football from Starship Troopers. Remember the really fast football?
Yeah. That's very violent.
The best.
Yeah, so they could. I don't know.
If Worf plays it, it's violent as shit.
Yeah, and he wanted to win, so he's probably injuring people left and right.
Or he just wanted to show people, his dick oil that he had rubbed through the outfit.
Or he's actually getting hurt all the time because his wrists break super easily.
Sports are the only place where Worf can win in this show.
But yeah, I don't think you ever actually see it before. So yeah, that's sorry to disappoint you.
Yeah,
and I don't think
it's interesting to get episodes about questions like asking us for expertise.
Yeah, we're the wrong place to ask.
We're probably the wrong people to ask those sorts of questions for. Although the question is very appreciated.
Terrence, we love you, but if you want to ask dick oil questions, then you talk to us.
We're the professionals.
Yeah, T-square question.
We can write up a document.
I'll be honest. I don't think I've ever seen an advertisement for this dick oil we're talking about.
Oh, Dan, don't lie. You don't have to lie, Dan.
I've seen plenty.
To be fair,
I've seen plenty that challenge me not to come. I've seen plenty that promise like torrents of sperm.
Yeah.
Oh man, that reminds me of that spam email. I showed it to Dan. That spam email I got in college once, where it was called Spermamax.
Yep.
And it was like it kept escalating in urgency, it
was great.
Volume.
It was wondrous prose.
Yeah. And it was just like, you're going to like cover your partner in cum, and then it
kept, like, drowning
you'll be ankle deep in your own cum by the time you're finished. You will be drowning in a river of your own. It kept escalating.
You live in California, it will no longer be in a drought after you come.
Yeah. You will single-handedly save California from the drought with rivers of your cum. Oh my
god, this no longer sounds appealing. There's like a line.
Well, that's what we were saying. It's like, how do you deal with that?
Yeah.
It sounds very inconvenient.
Am I going to lose my life?
Yeah.
Where's the line for you? Where's the line?
There's like a line.
In my immortal danger, that's the line.
I'll be honest. I think for a lot of people, 0 is preferable.
The second ice age will begin as you cover the earth in a layer of cum.
It's just like, wow, like,
permanently alter the Earth's atmosphere with your.
Only Noah's Ark will remain as the world is covered in seas of cum.
The thing is that like Dan, it's what Dan was saying sounded like a bit. Like, I've never heard of this dick commercial. Like you would say that you've never seen.
I don't believe it.
Yeah, but the truth is that I don't know what you're talking about. I've never heard of this dick oil, dude.
I fucking told you.
Yeah. I just went with it because it was funny, but I thought you had made it up. But is this a real thing? Like dick
I've
oil?
seen it when I was younger. Yeah, and exploring websites.
Never seen
No one's ever seen the vegetables. So like someone's holding an eggplant, like a mini eggplant, and then they put the oil on it, and then it cuts.
What websites are you going to?
Yeah, like this is making me wonder. Like, are they only advertising this product to women?
I don't know.
Using your data.
Is it like get this dick oil for your man? Is it kind of like that?
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know. I mean,
do you wish the vegetables in your house were larger?
Do you wish to increase your crop yield?
Yeah, but all of a sudden now you don't know a lot about this dick oil. This is kind of fishy. It's almost like we passed out and you erased the memory of this dick oil.
Oh my god! Yeah. It's
Sarah can't confirm this hypothesis.
Dan's right hand's broken from all the dick oil.
I'm trying to determine whether the podcast description should really lean into this or we should like avoid it altogether.
Yeah. John's gonna be like, Jasmine,
John's like, damn it,
what the fuck was I part of right now?
I'm sorry. This is the tangents
John is
we
like,
go
Jasmine,
on.
what were you guys discussing in the podcast? What the fuck?
Damn, Ricardo, as you mentioned, my wrist does hurt.
Look, John's been my friend for like most of my life, so he knows how we roll. Okay.
Jasmine's gonna go, John, how was it? And then John's gonna go, did your episode have a lot of dick oil talk?
I'm sorry.
Oh, what are you talking about?
And Jasmine will be like, yeah, that's Star Trek.
Yeah. It did, actually.
That sounds like in universe.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to come up eventually when you're talking about data. So,
literally has dick oil.
Sponsor us. Come on. I don't know who I gotta reach out to, but
I mean, I could look into an Adam and Eve sponsorship. Maybe that'll.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, I can do that.
I've been
that
saying,
would be
dude,
awesome, actually.
Adam
Like low
Eve,
key, like
Pornhub.
Yeah.
I'll look into it. I'll look into it.
100%.
Tahine's hard.
By the way,
I actually, like, not even joking, looked into it. They don't do anything. They're
Dude,
Tahine.
I
They're a
forgot,
juggernaut. They're never gonna.
Yeah, Tahine's a stalwart. They don't need our exposure.
Yeah.
We need an
They're
insider, someone who
they're
works
like Nike,
there.
you know?
Yeah.
It sells itself. They're like they're like dick oil. It sells itself.
Yeah, man.
That's true.
This was thanks for the email, Terrence. And if you guys have been liking us talk, we do other stuff. You can easily just head on over to fugitiveframes.com, and that has links to all the stuff we do, like the Fugitive Frames Film Podcast, our YouTube channel, Fugitive Games, and some other stuff we do. So just head on over to fugitiveframes.com, and it's going to have all that stuff into it. So next week we're going to watch First Contact, and you don't remember this either.
That's also very sexual too.
You haven't seen.
So
First
it was both an episode name and a movie name.
Yes, because Rick Berman.
Are they connected?
Okay.
Sorry, what'd you say?
Are they connected?
No, actually, this is a philosophically.
No spoilers.
Okay. No spoilers at all. Okay, but interesting to me. But all right, we're gonna see that next time. John, thank you very much for joining us. And
thanks a lot. Thanks for all your service in general.
Thanks.
Thank you for all your hard work on the assets. It's a very cool looking visual representation.
It looks so amazing.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you so much. And if you want to find. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I was saying, I hope the viewers enjoy it. And
absolutely.
And thanks for having me. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. If you want to find John, he's on Instagram at ArtDevice28 and also on ArtStation as ArtDevice. All those are one word. And maybe we'll be back another time. It was just pretty fun. It was fun. Yeah. It was fun to have a newbie on the podcast and a newbie going, wait, Data has a brother and stuff like that. That's great. That's actually a lot of fun. So
it'll be interesting how many more like episodes, or like if we're gonna get to a point where it's hard for a newbie to watch like a latter day episode, or if
that's also a good test of the series, right? Is it a good test to know, because
like when it was running in syndication over and over, it was very likely to just catch some random episode in the middle of this of the series, on a given day.
Oh yeah. That's the vast majority.
That is how people got into it at some point as well.
Yeah. So,
and that's definitely what I've done. Like I've seen quite a bit of episodes of TNG because Jasmine plays it, right? She watched it at home, and I will catch one episode, every now and then. So I'm like half a newbie. Like I don't know the plots at all, but I know the characters. Like I know what they're about. You know,
you're like, I think you're like the average viewer. You are like not like my dad, who basically tried to convince me to never watch Star Trek.
He's all never watch it. They talk about dick oil all the time.
He was just like, he basically was like kind of like almost like, I don't know if bullying is the right word, but basically like making fun of me for being like, Star Trek, that show's boring. Why are you watching Star Trek? And I'd be like, nerd. I don't know. I want to watch Star Trek.
Freaking nerd. Watch football.
No, he'd be like, watch these martial arts movies instead. They're way cooler. And he's right. Martial arts are cool.
Martial arts is very cool.
But, you know, Jackie Chan movies are indeed fantastic. But, you know, we live in a world where you can watch both. So,
yeah.
Like, there we go.
I mean, they have Ambo Jutsu right there.
I know. It's just like Police Story.
It's just as good.
It's just as good as Police Story.
Terrence, I apologize, dude. Terrence is going to go, he's like, dude, they got mentioned in a podcast. And then he's going to tell his friends to listen. And then they're like, yeah, but they talked about dick oil for like 10 minutes after they mentioned your name. Like, yeah, but they didn't mention my I apologize.
Like they read my email.
Oh, I'm sorry, everyone.
Yeah.
All right. We'll see everybody next time. Goodbye, everyone. Stay safe.
Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah. Let us know where you get your dick oil.
Yeah, please do.
Yes, please do.
Please do.
Please do. We must know.
My smart device is listening to me and is going to advertise so much dick oil to me.
Yeah. A bunch of Amazon ads for dick oil, dude.
Yeah. All the ALEXA devices are listening right now and being like, oh, all the listeners are getting lots
we're gonna
of
get
ads.
spammed with enlargement ads forever now.
Yeah.
Sorry, everyone.
Like the smart device is like, we don't have enough dick oil to sell this guy. Talk about it.
Oh my gosh.
It's available from these sellers.
Yeah.